Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadamaya Dati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Yadam Tamritam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishakanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki Jai, Shri Shri Gauritai ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki Jai, Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. So it is my great good fortune to be here today. May Bahod Bhagya Shali Hum. And before I begin to speak, I seek the blessings of all the devotees present here today, that I can speak for my own purification. Kripaya Ab Sab Ashirwad DGA. Thank you so much. So we're reading today from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 4, Chapter 11. And the chapter is entitled Swayambhuva Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj to stop fighting. This fighting chordo, leave the fighting. In this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, we learn many important lessons, including the importance of humility and obedience to higher principles and higher authorities. In this section today, we are hearing how Dhruva Maharaj's grandfather is advising him to stop killing the yakshas. And Dhruva, out of his humility, despite being a kshatriya, kshatriyas are always ready to fight. But because his grandfather, Swayambhuva Manu, advised him, stop fighting, it's not required. Kshama kijiye, forgive these yakshas who killed Uttam. Thank you. Forgive these yakshas who have killed Uttam, your brother. So in honor of Swayambhuva Manu, Dhruva Maharaj exhibits these qualities of humility and obedience to higher principles. And as a result, he's successful, he advances in spiritual life. This is actually like a test, a pariksha. Many of us experience tests in our spiritual life. Who here has experienced a test in your spiritual life? Has anyone experienced any tests? Yes, any challenges in the spiritual life? So these challenges are an opportunity for us to grow. Sometimes people use the word problem. I have a problem in my spiritual life. But there's different ways to look at this, different angles of vision. We could say, I have a problem, or we could say, I have a challenge. Or we can say, I have an opportunity. So which is better, a problem or a challenge? Challenge. And which is better, challenge or opportunity? Opportunity. So don't say problem, say opportunity. So Dhruva Maharaj is experiencing an opportunity, that he has the opportunity to show his humility, to show his obedience to higher principles, the instructions of Swayambhuva Manu. And as a result, he can progress in his humility. And what happens when we progress in our humility? Lord Chaitanya explains in the third verse of the Shikshastakam prayers. Please repeat after me. Kripaya aap sab mere piche boliye. Chunadapi suniche naha. Tayor api sahishuna. Amanina manadena. Kirtaniya sadari. Trinad api suniche na. The trina means grass or the straw in the street. And niche means low, below. So one should think oneself lower, niche, than the straw in the street. And not just niche, but su niche. So su means very much. Su niche. Superman! Super Nietzsche, being very, very much humble, lower than the straw in the street. Trinad api su Nietzsche na. Trinad api su Nietzsche na. Taror api sehishnuna. Taror means tree, vriksha. And sehishnuna means tolerant. To be tolerant. Just like the preachers of the Krishna consciousness movement must be tolerant. When we go door to door and ask people, please take up this chanting of the holy names, some people will say, yes, yes, I will chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And some people will not cooperate with us. They may chastise us. What are you doing here? Get out of my house. I will call the police. I will call my dog to bite you. And then you have to run. A friend of mine shared that he was going door to door to distribute books. And one man was in his house, and there was a big gate. And the man said, "Come in." And the devotee opened the gate, but then he was attacked by like goose, which means like duck, like baka. You know, have you ever been attacked by a baka? They're very vicious. They hiss at you, and then if they hit you, very painful. Bahut kasht hai, very very painful. But then this devotee, he left that house and he went to a new house. And that next house, the man bought a Srimad Bhagavatam set. So was it a problem or was it an opportunity? It was an opportunity. So Krishna, sometimes we think, why Krishna, you're giving me so many problems? But we should think, oh Krishna, why are you giving me so many opportunities? So Taror api sahishnuna, being more tolerant than a tree. The tree is in the rain, the tree is in the wind, the tree is in the sun. Where I'm from, I was born in New York City. And in New York City, we have barf. Do you know what barf is? Have you ever seen barf? Yeah? Only in the internet, some devotees. But it's very, very cold. And the tree is just tolerating the cold of the barf and also the weight of the barf. Sometimes the trees crack, they break from so much weight. But does the tree complain? No. The tree just always gives fruits. So the same way devotees should be like a tree, giving shelter to others, tolerating any problems. Wait, no problems, only opportunities. Tolerating all difficulties, giving shelter to others, and giving fruits. And that fruit is the teachings of Krishna consciousness and the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Amanina manadena, not desiring any respect for oneself, but only desiring to give respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this quality of humility is considered the crest jewel, the shiromani of all Vaishnava qualities. And we should aspire to get this quality of humility. How to get this quality? Number one, associate with devotees who have this quality. How to associate with devotees? One way is to associate with them through Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we are hearing about Dhruva Maharaj, who despite being a Kshatriya, is being advised by Swayambhuva Manu, his grandfather, to stop fighting. Don't fight. Forgive them. Kshama kijiye. And in this way, Dhruva Maharaj is accepting his instruction and exhibiting his humility. So this is a victory for Dhruva Maharaj. Just giving up the fighting is actually a victory because it enables him to come to a higher standard of Krishna consciousness. So similarly, for us, sometimes it is better not to fight but to be humble, take a humble position, and therefore advance in our Krishna consciousness. One time there was a devotee in New Vrindavan in West Virginia, America, and there was a Prabhupada disciple giving a class. And he gave some information that one devotee in the audience did not agree with. So he raised his hands and he began to argue with the devotee on the Vyasasana, the Prabhupada disciple. And this devotee was a grand disciple, a prashishya. So actually, the point was raised so strongly by the grand disciple that the Prabhupada disciple sitting on the Vyasasana had to admit that he was wrong. But later, the guru of the grand disciple who raised the objections chastised his disciple so strongly. He said, "This is not the etiquette. You may have been right, but you are not humble in the way you presented yourself." And the guru refused to speak with that disciple for more than 1 year. And that is the greatest punishment that the guru can give the disciple, is to neglect him, to ignore him. One time devotees asked Srila Prabhupada, what should we do when the spiritual master chastises us? And Srila Prabhupada said, you should be smiling and laughing, because you should be happy, because it means that the guru cares about you. He's paying attention to you. So this is the great mercy of the guru. So humility is required for this. And this is the quality that Dhruva Maharaj is exhibiting in today's verse. Haribol. Dhruva Maharaj ki. So this quality of humility and obedience to the higher principles is a very, very critical aspect of our devotional life. Dhruva Maharaj was a Kshatriya, and the Kshatriya's qualities are explained in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text number 43. Shuryam tejo dhritir jaksham yudhe chapya palayanam dhanam ishwaram bhavascha kshatram karma subhavajam. These are the swabhavajam, the qualities of the kshatriya. Shuryam, he's very powerful. Tejas, he is power. Shurya Tejas, Dhritir, he's determined. Daksham, he's very expert. Yudhe Chapya Palayanam. Yud means war. Yud means the fight. And who's in the front in the fight? The Kshatriya, right at the front. Yudhe Chapya Palayanam. Dhanam is very charitable, very generous. Dhanam Ishvara Bhavascha. Ishvara Bhav. He has a controlling nature. Kshatram Karma Swabhavajam. These are the qualities of the Kshatriya. So, Dhruva Maharaj, he has all these qualities. Yudhe Chapya Palayanam. He's ready to fight the yakshas. He's killing them with his arrows. He's killing them. We're all dying. He's laying them down like a carpet. But Swayambhuva Manu, his grandfather, says, no, Dhruva, this is not the way. Forgive them. Be humble. Only a few of these yakshas offended by killing Uttama. But now you're killing all of them. This is not correct, because the Supreme Lord is in everyone's heart. You should see each and every living entity as the temple of the Supreme Lord. Sarvasya chamriti sannivisto, sarvasya chamriti san, matasmiti jnanam aponam cha. Vedaishar Savar Aham Eva Vedyo Vedanta Krit Veda Vid Eva Chaham Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanyavistaha. Krishna says, Sarvasya, of all living entities, Cha Aham, I am also, Ridhi, in the heart, Sanyavistaha, I am situated. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart. So we should be very careful not to unnecessarily kill living entities. So we should not kill the ants, we should not kill the yakshas, and even unnecessarily, we should not kill the cows, of course. And meat eating is so prominent in society, and there are slaughterhouses. And we think as devotees, but for us, it's okay, we are vegetarians. We don't have anything to do with cow slaughter. But what about mridangas? Can I see the mridanga? I want to just end with this one point. Kripaya आप मृदंगा dijiye. What is the mridanga made from? Mitti and leather. Leather is coming from cow. And this part of the mridanga, this is a high quality mridanga. This part is made from calf. Oh, devotees don't know. Now you know. This is one thing I learned being kirtan minister. Okay? So, approximately 800 to 1,000 mridangas are made every month in Mayapur. The numbers are increasing because the amount of devotees all over the world are increasing. So, the mridanga wala, he gets an order for 300 mridangas. And he only has enough leather for 100 mridangas. What does he do? The person says, I need these 300 mridangas in 2 weeks. What to do? The mridangawala goes to the slaughterhouse, says, do you have any leather? I need leather for 200 mridangas. The slaughterhouse wala says, I have leather for 100 mridangas. You can take. So incidentally, Prabhupada gave instruction that only the leather from cows that die naturally should be used to make mridangas. Now in those days, only a few mridangas were being made, maybe 10 or 20 per month, maybe 50, maybe 100. But now 800 to 1,000 mridangas are being made per month. So are there enough cows dying naturally? And how can it be verified? Very difficult. Katanak. Sadhu, Saudan. Okay, coming back to the math. He has enough mridanga leather for 100 mridangas. Slaughterhouse wala has given him leather for 100 mridangas, even though Prabhupada said, don't use slaughterhouse leather. Then where he gets the rest of the leather for his next 100 mridangas? He has to go to the farmer down the street with his live cows and his live calves. And he has to kill those cows and calves to make mridangas. Is this a problem? No, it's an opportunity. The opportunity is, there's a group of devotees now based out of Chennai making Madhur mridangas. They're called Ahimsa mridangas. They're vegan. There's no leather used. And the quality is very high and they sound very good. They're a higher standard of technology. And they're light, and if you drop them, they don't break. Prabhupada had a fiber mridanga one time. He held it out and he dropped it and it bounced. And Prabhupada said, yes, very good. So this is the opportunity. Cost 12,700 rupees for one mridanga. It will last 5 years. These clay mridangas generally last how long? How long, Mandir Bhaktas? Anyone live in the temple here? 1 year. 1 year. How much does it cost? How much? 9,000. This is a very high quality mridanga. Definitely calf. 9,000 mridanga, 9,000 will last 1 year. So 5 years, 9,000 mridangas, 9,000 rupees per year. 9 times 5 is 45,000 rupees. You can buy a Madhur Ahimsa mridanga, 12,700 rupees will last you 5 years. Is it a problem or an opportunity? It's an opportunity. And for those who do have clay mridangas, why do they break every year? It's because of this part right here. Can you see this part? It's called the ear of the mridanga, the karn. And when you dance with the mridanga, they're designed to break within 1 year. Otherwise, if they put some piece of wire there, this could also last 5 years if you treat it properly, or longer. But if you're in business and you're selling a car, you want it to break after 5 or 10 years. Otherwise, you cannot sell another car. You lose all your customers. So these mridangas are designed to break every year. But if you just take these ear parts and change it for a wire, it can last you for a lifetime if you're careful with it. So if you have a mridanga, change out this for a wire that won't break. And if you're going to buy a mridanga, don't buy a leather mridanga. Otherwise, we get implicated in cow killing. And it's very serious business. So this is just a side point. It's called madhurmridanga.com. I don't get a commission, but I'm trying to protect cows because Krishna is Namo Brahmane Devaya, Namo Brahmane Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagadachaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. Can we get madhurmridanga.com here? Madhurmridanga.com. So these devotees are, some of them are gurukulis, and they're doing whatever they can to try to distribute these mridangas. And they're very nice. You can get them hand painted with picture of Krishna and the cow. Very, very gorgeous mridangas. And this way, we see the practice of humility and obedience to higher principles, that despite being a Kshatriya, Dhruva Maharaj accepts the advice of Swayambhuva Manu and advances in spirituality, advances in humility, and comes to a higher platform of Krishna consciousness. So let us all live our life according to the same principles, according to these higher values for personal growth and connecting with Krishna through this process of loudly chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Isn't it beautiful? Bahut sundar. Sounds nice also. And saves the cows. And saves you about 38,000 rupees in 5 years' time. So thank you very much for your kind attention this morning. I'm very grateful to all of you. May आप सब बहुत आभारी हूँ. Do we have time to take 1 or 2 questions or comments? Is there time? Yes? Okay. Are there any questions or comments I can try to answer? आपका प्रश्न टीका तथार्य? Yes, Prabhu. There's a question here, I believe. Please take the mic. Maybe a comment also.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful class. My question is that when we talk about humility and importance of humility and as we engage Krishna consciousness, we do not pick up on fights and fight with other people. But sometimes there's some unavoidable circumstances, and like that's why if we see practically in our real life also, there many of our temples that require a lot of security and protection also. Like, and like I still remember 2 years ago, practically in Bangladesh, there's a riots, and a lot of our dear brothers and Vaishnavas were murdered. So, how can we like apply this verse practically in situations?
Okay, thank you for your question. So the question is that how can we apply this verse in our own lives when we see devotees are in danger, and that how do we protect our devotees that are in danger while still applying the principles of this verse? Correct? Thank you so much. So Srila Prabhupada instructed us to pray to Lord Nrsingadev for protection for us and for ISKCON, for the Guru, for all devotees. So prayer is a very important part of our spiritual practice. Namaste Narsingahaya Prahlada Lada Dayane Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Shilasankana Kalaye Hito Nishrimha Bhagato Nishrimho Yato Yato Yamitato Nishrimha Vahir Nishrimho Hridaye Nishrimho Narsingham Dim Sharanam Prapade Avakar Kamalavare Abhita Singha Dalita Hiranyakashipu Dhanubringa Keshavadita Narahariuka Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare In this way, we can pray to the Lord for protection. Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke, Rakhe Krishna Mare Ke. If Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save you. If Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. So ultimately, it's up to the will of the Lord whether we live or die. A rich man can spend all of his money on the most expensive hospital, while a poor man can just go down the street to the local pharmacy, chemist, and buy some medicine. The rich man may die, and the poor man may live. It depends on the mercy of the Lord. But that being said, we should do whatever we can practically to protect our devotees, protect our community. That's what the word kshatriya means. Kshatriya means one who protects others. Kshatriya, who protects them from hurt or harm. So some years ago, there was a terrorist threat in Manipur. There was a bomb explosion in Manipur, and some devotees died, and devotees were injured, and devotees had great security measures put in place, similar to the airport. When you go in the airport and you go through the security, do they say, Mari Krishna Rakhe Ke, Rakhe Krishna Mari Ke? No, they say, take your cell phone, put it in the tray, and put it through the x-ray machine. So very careful measures are in place. So as time, place, and circumstance, we need to maintain a good level of security for our devotees, whatever is required. Because Go Brahmana Hitayacha, Krishna loves the cows, we should protect the cows. And Krishna loves the devotees, we should protect the devotees also, right? So sometimes that may mean hiring a security force. That's appropriate action for us to take. Does that answer your question? Yeah. So we pray to Krishna for his help and protection, but also we use our intelligence and apply whatever practical matters we can. Okay? Thank you so much. Yes, Prabhu. 1, 2. Yeah, go ahead.
Maharaj already got benediction to the Lord up to the Lord. And then there was a long time in between when he was staying there. And in between, he was not giving the way.
Say again?
This is just killing all these yakshas. He was not at that platform for that time being. Maharaj had to come and instruct him. We devotees or aspiring devotees have become in association of Sri Prabhupada and his teachings. You also understand that Krishna consciousness is the ultimate goal. But in our journey, we also have this kind of a risk that we will not do the right things. So how do we protect ourselves? Why this happened to Guru Maharaj? And he was already a self-realized soul. And we can also be placed in similar situations. We can also fall down in between. Best thing would be that as soon as living a Krishna conscious for the first time, we just go back immediately. But that doesn't happen. So during the journey, there's a big risk that we may go astray. So how do we protect ourselves from that?
Thank you for your question. If I understand your question properly, you're saying that we as practicing, aspiring devotees on the path of Krishna consciousness, we may come into situations where our spiritual principles are compromised. Just like Dhruva Maharaj had this difficulty in his spiritual life, even though eventually he went back to Godhead. So how can we safeguard ourselves against our fall downs and issues that we may face, obstacles during our practices of Krishna consciousness? Is that correct?
Yes.
So it's the association of devotees that protects us. Just like I know when I first came to India, I was surprised because I saw in the parks they had these small trees, shota vriksh, and then around the tree there would be like a fence, a small fence. And I thought, why are they putting the tree in the cage? You know, where I'm from, I go to the zoo as a small child, there's a tiger in the cage because they don't want the tiger to get out. So why are they afraid the trees are going to get out of the cage? I was confused. Torah confused Karahata. But actually, then I could understand there was a Bakri, right? Meh. There was this bakri who was trying to eat the trees, but there was a fence around the tree, and thus the bakri could not get to the tree and eat the tree. So the same way we have a devotional creeper, a small plant of devotion that is growing in our hearts, and we have to put a cage around it so that the difficulties that we face, the negative influences that may influence us, will not disturb our devotion. And that fence is the association of devotees. So this is why Srila Prabhupada has created ISKCON. He puts this fence around us to protect us. Therefore, it's so important that we regularly come together and hear and chant together. And we see even in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, when his fence, when his creeper was getting attacked by his rage, by his anger, then by his passion, then we saw who came to protect him, Swayambhuva Manu. So the same way in the association of devotees, it is so wonderful if we can have the benefit of these senior advanced devotees who can give us proper guidance when we're having difficulties in our spiritual life. Therefore, there's one very neglected ashram, that's the Vanaprastha ashram. We don't talk much about Vanaprastha ashram. But these are the grahastas that have been through their grahastha ashram. They've experienced life, so many problems, challenges, opportunities they faced in their spiritual life. And they can give very good guidance to the younger devotees. So these are very, very valuable members of our community. We should respect them. And in this way, they can guide us, help us, and protect us. So it's the association of devotees, and especially those of the senior devotees. Does that answer your question? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. I think this will be our last question. You can ask me personally because it's getting late. Go ahead.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the answer. My question was that Maharaj, many times in Vaishnava community regarding humility, it was focused on that. Many times we use humility and sometimes we offend some Vaishnava by any kind of words, any kind of Vaishnava. And if we, many times things are that we realize this later that I offended that Vaishnava that few times ago. But now the situation is that if we are unable to meet that Vaishnava which we offended in the past. So, what will be the implications in the future, like, and how can the Prashchitta be done to that Vaishnava if we are not unable to meet him now and we are regretting that we are offended in the past?
Thank you for your question. If I understand your question properly, you're asking that if I offended a devotee in the past and I'm not able to access that devotee to beg forgiveness or somehow overcome that offense, what should I do? Is that your question? Yes. So that's a good question. Sometimes we may offend a devotee, they may leave their bodies, we may not be able to do anything, but still, we can still pray to them that they forgive us, because it's very important to seek forgiveness from devotees if we offend them. Rupa Goswami says in the Nectar of Devotion that if one offends a devotee, one should go to that devotee and beg for forgiveness, even falling at the ground at their feet and grasping their feet, just begging them for forgiveness. So it's very, very important. And now Prabhuji is raising the point, what if those feet are not available to me? What if I don't have access to that devotee? What can I do? Still, we can pray to that devotee, and we can try to act in such a way that wherever that devotee is now, he's not physically with us, he may be somewhere on the other side of the planet, or he may be on a different planet, or he may be in Goloka Vrindavan. We don't know where he or she has gone. But we can pray to them for their forgiveness and their benefit. And it's the saying in English, put your money where your mouth is. Have you heard that before? No. Put your money where your mouth is. Means whatever you're speaking, show by your actions. So behave in such a way that that devotee would be pleased with us and give us their mercy. And maybe there are some devotees that are dear to that devotee, their family members, their friends, their disciples. If we can please the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant, then the servant is also pleased. Does that answer your question? Yes? Thank you so much. So I'm going to end here by thanking you all once again. Let us live our life with the higher values of humility and obedience to the higher authorities, just like Dhruva Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.